Now that the holidays are over, are you wondering what you're going to do until you're able to go camping again?
Well, in this video, we will give you 10 ideas of things you can do during the cold winter months to get you prepared, excited, and ready for the next camping season.
Good.
Okay, let's go. Hi, I'm Holly, this is John, and this is Murphy. We are Let's Go Now Adventures. It is a cold, snowy December day here. It's about, 21 degrees, and it is cold. Now, John and I love to camp all year round. I'm a little bit of a wimp when it gets super cold, but at this time of the year, we realize that most people aren't thinking about camping. It's not on the very top of your list. Well, at least until it gets a little bit warmer. Now, maybe you're one of those people that are fortunate enough to live in like Arizona or Texas or somewhere like that where you can camp all year round. But here, we've got icy cold conditions for about the next 3 to 4 months.
So we thought we'd give you 10 activities and ideas you can do during the wintertime when it's this cold outside to help get you ready for camping next season. These are activities that'll get you prepared and excited and energized to get out there and go camping. But be sure to stick around at the end for that last bonus tip.
It may be the most important. So the first thing would be is to make reservations. Now, most campsites book up 6 months in advance, and some states are even a little bit earlier. It's December here, and we just booked for the National Arches Park down in southern Utah for June. So you kind of it's kind of a game that you have to play. You have to be right on top of it. But that's why right now is such a good time. Winter is a great time to be planning and getting your summer plans all set. Now, what I like to do is I like to take my planner and go through the weeks and tentatively sketch out where we're gonna go and what sites we'd like to be at and the exact date that I need to be calling to get that reservation. Now, this is especially true if you're weekend warriors like us. We really need to make sure that we have a site ready and waiting and confirmed for us because our weekends are so precious, and so making reservations, it's absolutely essential. Now, sometimes it does take a little bit of luck to get those prime spots. But we have some tips and tricks that we would love to share with you in our next video to help you get those high demand spots. We will walk you through step by step with not only Reserve America, but reservation.gov to show you exactly what you need to do to get those spots.
The next thing you can do during the winter time to get you excited to go camping is it's always fun to upgrade your camping gear. We've been married for 30 years, and during that 30 years, it seems like each year we've collected one more piece of new camping gear. And all of those, collectively, all of that gear combined, every year just increases our great camping experience. So try something, this will be fun. Type into Amazon.com into the search, look for hiking gear, camping gear, or RV equipment. Type those searches in and you'll get a whole list of things that you'll find you absolutely can't live without. The other thing you can do is if you're on a budget, try looking in your classifieds or even on eBay for some new gear that somebody's already purchased but never used, or some lightly used camping gear. You can find some great steals at those locations. The last thing, not the last thing, this is a great place, is YouTube is a great place to find out. Look for reviews, look for tips and tricks on camping gear that you're looking to purchase. That way you know full well before you invest your money in something that you're going to buy for camping. One activity that you can do that's absolutely just fun to do during the winter time, just to get you excited to go, is go spend an hour wandering around the camping aisle at Walmart. Or if you're don't even get me started on how much time I can spend wandering at Shields and Cabela's. Those places, absolutely a blast.
Okay, number 3 would be to document. Document all those wonderful camping adventures that you had last summer. Now, on a side note, in order to do this, you need to be using your camera while you're out having your adventures. You know, they say the best camera is the one that you have with you and the one that you're using. So also another tip is to remember to write down all those memories that you're making, not only the good times, but those times that don't go exactly right. Like last summer when we were up in the mountains and it rained so hard, it saturated through the tent and it was actually dripping on us while we were laying down. Crazy, but let me tell you, those make for some great campfire stories. Also, I think it's a great idea to have a little notebook with you. A lot of times John and I will be driving on an adventure and I'll say, oh, look over there, that would be a great spot for a different time. So we mark it down so we have reference. So the next time when we go to make reservations for maybe the next summer, we go, oh, let's try that site again. So that really helps. But the biggest thing is, get those photos off your phone. Get them off your camera. Maybe print them, maybe make a mini movie, or even scrapbook them. I love to scrapbook. Now is a wonderful time to be doing this. You know, in the summer, it gets so hectic and busy and you're running and playing and having a great time. So now you should take advantage while it's winter to get all those precious moments that you have documented.
One very important thing you can do during the winter time is tune up the gear you already have. And what I mean by tuning it up is, let's take a look at a couple of items. For example, your batteries, all those alkaline batteries that you keep in your flashlights, your lanterns, things like that. What you'll want to do is buy a cheap battery tester, take those batteries out of that equipment, test it, and make sure that if it's bad, you throw it out. If it's good, just set it aside. You don't want to just leave batteries in a piece of equipment for years and years and years, because if they corrode, they can actually do damage to that equipment. Then we can take a look at your rechargeable types of batteries. So the deep cycle lead acid batteries that you use on an RV, or that I use in my battery boxes, and I'll talk about that in a minute, those things really like to be kept full. So you want to get a float charger, not too much money at all. Put a float charger on that and keep those things all winter long, all the way up to the top. The other one is, other type of rechargeable battery is a battery bank like this. We use these for our cell phones, things like that. These also like to be brought up to a full capacity. Plus, it doesn't hurt to always have a full battery pack when your phone runs out of battery. The next one is, take a look at your propane situation. Your propane tanks, it's not a problem at all. Is during the winter time, go ahead and top those propane tanks up. Propane's a fuel that you can keep through the winter time, and it'll be perfectly good to go in the spring when you're ready to go camping again. Plus, it doesn't hurt to have propane around during the winter time in case there's a power outage or something like that and you need to provide some energy. The other thing with propane though is, take a look at the hoses, take a look at the gaskets and the seals. Look at those and make sure that they're not cracked, that they're still pliable, they're not brittle. If you do, make sure you replace or repair those items. Now, when you're talking about propane and propane hoses, you want to make sure that those are in good repair, because that becomes a real safety issue. The winter time is a great time to repair any gear that you have that might have become damaged during last season's camping outings. It's much more fun to repair it now than it is to break it out in the spring when you want to put that awning up and that awning's broken and so you can't use it. Let's work on that stuff now. The last one is, and my wife will tell you, that cleaning is the most important thing, because you can go through your gear. Let's clean it now. It's much more fun to clean in the wintertime than it is in the summertime. Plus, it'll make everybody that much more happy, and you'll be kind of proud when you pull that camping gear out and it's shining and sparkling, and that'll be great. So another thing you want to do is go through your gear. You want to catalog it, inventory it, and then organize it to make sure that you know where it is as you pack it into each little pocket or each box or each little cubby that you have. That way when you get out camping, you know exactly where it is, and it'll just take that much stress and that much more time instead of searching for it. It'll make your camping experience that much more fun.
Okay, so number 5 would be to explore some new campsites. Now in the winter, what we like to do is kind of map out our summer plans, and we have what we call date nights. And we sit down in front of either the computer or the TV, and we start searching for different campgrounds or different sites and looking at campground maps. We can literally spend hours looking for different campgrounds and places that would be fun for us to go. Now this way, by doing your research on different sites and new places, you can never say when you get there, oh wow, I didn't know we were right next to the public restroom. Or if you're traveling with children and you get there and it's like, why are we so far away from the playground? By doing your research, it will help. Now this can be a good thing or a bad thing, depending on who you're with. Another thing we found is that Google Earth is amazing. You can zoom right down and see what spots you're going to be at. Now this is especially helpful when you're boondocking. One thing, by checking ahead and finding out new and different spots, you can find out exactly where you're going to be, which is great for us because John and I like to do a lot of kayaking. So those prime spots that are down by the water are the places that we like to go. Now, just to know, when you are booking those sites down by the water, not only are they the most highly searched out and they book really fast, but there is a lot of wind down there by the water. Did I mention there's a lot of wind down there by the water? You know what? There is so much information out there, it's crazy. And now is the time while it's cold outside to take advantage of this and do some research. You know, last weekend we were watching a YouTube video on how to get back into your kayak if you fall out. Now, it's a little bit hard to practice that in your living room in the winter, but I think that will come into some very good useful information when we get out there this summer. We also watched a video on how to keep your pets safe while you're camping. Now, I don't know if Murphy thought it was very useful. What do you think? Did you? But I know that it will come into practice this summer when we're out there. Now, we would love to be one of your go-to places to come and find out new camping tips and tricks. So come on, subscribe to our channel and check back with us weekly. We'll be putting out new videos. We have lots of fun ideas and new things that we'd love to share to help make your camping experience not only more enjoyable, but more memorable.
One very rewarding activity you can do during the wintertime is try your hand at a little bit of DIY camping gear. That's right, make your own camping gear. And you may say to yourself, I'm not creative enough to make camping gear, or I don't have those skills to make camping gear. Yes, you do. Everybody's creative enough, and I bet if you thought about it, you've thought about it when you've been out camping and you've said, what if I had something that would do this? Well, why not make it? One of the things with making your own camping gear is, first off, it's fun to do, but when you get out there in the summer and you've got that camping gear that you've designed, it works, it looks good, there's nothing more rewarding than that. Just a couple of examples of some things I've made is, first off, this battery box. This battery box, we use it to charge all of our electronics like cell phones and tablets and speakers for listening to music while we're camping. The other thing it does is it keeps all our camera gear charged up so we can make these YouTube videos. But the most fun thing about the battery box is that it powers our projector when we string the sheets between two trees and have drive-in movie night when we're camping. That's a hit. The next thing I did was a propane fire pit. Now this propane fire pit, Holly wasn't really down with that because she wanted the campfire atmosphere, that smell, that experience. Well, that all changed this last summer when we went up to a campsite. We rolled in about 10 o'clock at night. This is about 10,500 feet. It's cold, it's dark. So I had that fire pit running within the first 5 minutes. Not only did we have light, but we had instant heat to warm us up while we were setting up our camp that night. And the last one, and this is the one I'm the most proud about, is that is this trailer that you're looking at some photos of right now. This was my brainchild, and I built this over the winter time so that it was we had it ready to go in the summer, but this was designed specifically for what we needed to go camping and all the features. Now that battery box and that fire pit, if you follow us on our channel, you'll get a notification of when we have videos on actually how to make those two items. That's upcoming, so stay tuned. Number 8, wintertime is a great time to brush up on your camping skills. One of the most important skills you can work on is your first aid skills. First aid's a skill that you hopefully will never use, but it's a great thing to have. There are organizations like the American Red Cross, local community colleges, online courses offer first aid training. It's a great time to either take some first aid courses or brush up on some first aid skills that maybe you studied a long time ago.
Number 9 would be to experiment with some fun camping meals and recipes. Now, if you think about it, what's the one thing you do every time you're camping? Well, you eat. So now is the perfect time to try out some of those new recipes and kind of tweak them to your liking. The worst is trying those recipes out when you're camping, because if they don't work, you're stuck eating red licorice and potato chips for dinner. So try them out now. Pinterest is a wonderful site to find some new camping meals and recipes also. We love to do Dutch oven all winter long and try out new meals. In fact, we're doing a Dutch oven right now. We have this go-to cheese garlic parmesan bread recipe that is a wonderful addition to any camping meal. In fact, I'll leave the link to the recipe below. Now, it may be a little bit hard to practice roasting marshmallows on a campfire in your living room, but now is the perfect time to try out those new tinfoil dinners and to learn a stew or something that would be a great hit for the summer.
Okay, so if everything we've said didn't satisfy that need to go camping, well then why not just go winter camping? A couple of things to be aware of though when you're winter camping. Make sure that everything, you double prepare for the trip. And be aware also that everything you do while you're winter camping is going to take twice as long, if not more, than what you're used to do when you go camping in the summertime. But you may say, why go winter camping then? That seems crazy. Well, if you've ever done it, you'll know why. The first is, the scenery is absolutely stunning. You may go to the same campsite that you go to in the summertime, but when you get there in the winter, everything looks different. It's blanketed in snow and ice on lakes and ice in rivers, and everything is just absolutely beautiful, and it's a new opportunity to capture some wonderful photography. The other thing is that you've got solitude. You're probably the only person crazy enough to try it. And the other thing is, winter camping, you can say, I did it. I made it through it. So you make for some great stories that you can share with your friends and family, and they'll be hanging on every word.
Okay, so we do have one bonus tip, and I think John and I both agree that this is probably the most important. It's actually probably the most important piece of equipment that we tend to forget or neglect, and that would be yourself. You know, now that it's winter, it's the perfect time to get in shape. Now, I'm not saying go out and, get ready for an Ironman. If that's what you're into, that's fine. But just get a little bit more in shape so it makes camping easier. I mean, sometimes the setup and the takedown to getting those campsites is hard, and those propane bottles get heavier each time we go camping. So I know John and I are really going to focus this winter on getting ourselves into shape, and we just realized that with it being winter, now is the perfect time. Camping offers so many wonderful opportunities to see and to do things that normally you wouldn't get to do. You could take, a walk around the lake or just go explore new campsites. But when you're not in shape, those things are hard to do. And the last thing you'd want to do is to say, wow, I wish we could have done that. So take advantage, invest in yourself, It'll make camping just a little bit easier, and you'll be able to take advantage of more of the wonderful things that camping has to offer.
So thanks for watching our video today. Oh, it's so great to have you watch and join us. Make sure that if you enjoy the content, please hit the subscribe button and the little bell that goes right next to it. That way you're notified when we release our next video. Now, ironically, our next video is going to be on what I just spoke about, how to stay warm camping, or for that matter, those skills will be great for how to stay warm in any wintertime activity. So make sure you do subscribe to our channel, and make sure you hit that like button, and then leave a comment for us. You know, it's your comments. We hope we learn as much from you folks as we hope that we're able to give to you. So from Holly and I, here at Let's Go Now Adventures, thank you again.